Okay. So let me teach you about the 90s. Let me take you guys back. Bitcoin, like I said, Bitcoin is a company pay um a company, I'm just reading some text messages. A company employer, it's a business credit line. It started as a business credit line. It was in the 80s and 70s, 60s and 50s. The reason why you see suburbs and mansions and townhomes. So think of a townhome and a mini townhome. Okay, so the um the Bitcoin system was you get paid by your employer and you get paid the rest of the half in Bitcoin. A medical assistant makes $40,000 a year, but they only willing to pay 30. So Bitcoin steps in and pays the rest of the 10. So let's say you do something that pays 40K a year and they only pay you 20K in America to do it. Bitcoin pays the other 20, so now you have 40K. Back when America was arguing and taking off the Bitcoin when we grew up, the millennials. So from 1997, at the end of 1996 until the new year of 97, the exact date they taken off the Bitcoin. I had conversations. I'm affiliated with music industry, record label businesses. They would only take those people seriously to have conversations on live stream with governors and mayors and stuff like that in the community. So, and it went higher up too. So we having live conversations on CNN. CNN at the time, you had a couple CNNs. You had the main CNN and then Fox CNN. So we would communicate through different various. Mind you, we big in the city, so we was allowed to do it just at a certain amount of time. So they was always threatening us coming up. They taking off the Bitcoin. They taking off the Bitcoin. 2 months left for the Bitcoin. The reason why they took off the Bitcoin, so stock became a thing in the 90s because of General Hospital. General Hospital is a TV show that was the first to participate and create a stock. Everyone invested in General Hospital thinking it's the number one show and they friends and all of that stuff, and they completely wiped their account 3 times. It was assisted possibly by Bernie Madoff. It's called the General Hospital stock option. They wiped them clean as shit. Then the government threatened them, and they was bitching, and they paid their money right back. General Hospital, that's on channel 12 or whatever you come from in your world. General Hospital, the TV show, created a stock and wiped everybody's account out that shit because they had the power to do it because they in Warner Brothers and they could like look at that system and say fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? And then you could tell because the General Hospital show was a little bit like like a urban culture aggressive. So it was like that's what they was doing. And they had something with that as well, where they were investing in urban culture and allowing people to communicate on this live stream with the mayors and all of that shit, just voicing their opinion on the minimum wage and all of that. So the minimum wage, I'm not going to say it was a minimum wage or not. 725 was a threat. It wasn't the wage. It was not the wage. It was not the wage. It was not the minimum wage. It was a threat to become the minimum wage. 725 was not a wage yet. People was making the 40Ks and all that. That's why niggas wasn't getting no beatings when they came home. A lot of people, what they did, how they messed up, they bought homes before they bought apartments. But they didn't create enough apartments in general. Where I live, we got a lot of apartments. And where I come from, a lot of the Jamaicans, because the Americans was buying houses first or renting. They was renting first. They was renting the houses first. They thought that was the big come up to rent a house and say, well, fuck buying a row home. I'm not qualified yet. I'm going to just rent one. So that's where a lot of the American culture kind of destabilized. The Jamaicans came straight up and went to the apartment complex by my house instead of going to the other ones in the other cities. We got a big ass complex where I live at that got like 500 apartments. All the Jamaicans was in there, but they was frauding too because you wouldn't see them nowhere. Then one day we doubled back and made a left in them bitches and everybody outside and all this shit. I said, there y'all go. There y'all go. Y'all all in here. And in the burbs and shit, in the half burbs and shit. Bitcoin is an employer matcher. Okay. When you was fielding phone calls for your folks and answering the phone call, how can I help you? You a little kid. We are an employer matcher calling to talk to, you know what I'm saying? We're an employer matcher, such and such. We're an employer matcher. They just was trying to be friends. So, and be friendly and stuff. We are an employer matcher. You don't need to be a credit card analyst because we didn't make it yet. So the credit card was coming out, but you had to wait to the gratuity date of when the credit cards was coming out. Now it was a decision to be made of who was going to make the credit card, the American government or the Bitcoin government. The Bitcoin government said, we have nothing to do with it. We have nothing to do with it. So the American government was making the credit card, which it had no issues, but people started getting aggressive. And I guess they was renting homes and they was tired of renting homes and they want to get that quick little 10 bands and shit. And they came out and said it's only $1,000. So that's where you see the $1,400 checks come from, because the original credit card was supposed to be for at least a maximum of $1,400. It's not that they can't pay every citizen, it's just that they won't put that Bitcoin back on the employer. So the government can afford to pay everybody $40K a year, majority, because that's how the system is. A minimum income, not a minimum wage, a minimum income is $40K a year. The government don't want to pay it. So Bitcoin slid in again and said, we'll cover it. We'll create ourselves. We'll cover it. So Bitcoin was a creditor matcher. It's a line of business credit for this company to sign up with and pay the employees fair wage, because it's not, let's say it's a union. This is where union could come from. It's the union credit line. It's the union credit line that once was a business credit line. And it's a union credit line. So when you say, I need a union, guess what a union was? Bitcoin. So so when you getting judged to work good, it's no such thing, because the government not even agree. The government admitted that if they pay you $40K a year, not only do they not want to, not only can they don't want to, they don't give a fuck about anybody. They don't have the money. They have the money. They don't want to pay you. They don't care to pay you. They mark themselves. Bitcoin came in and said, we can pay the $20K. Don't get dirty. Don't get racist. Don't get anything. We can afford to pay it. We can do it. Don't cross each other. Don't fight each other. So Bitcoin came in and joined the union. It's already a business credit line, but came down, joined the union because of just putting people on that live stream, putting advice out there. They made a deal with the union. So if you have a union, you could probably voice your opinion back on that idea from 1996 and above, 1990, the 90s and above, because they had the credit union. But people just was making bad mistakes, renting homes, listening to this thorough spirit of this Jezebel world. Just listening to a thorough, man, we ain't buying no house. We gonna rent a house. We ain't gonna look for no apartments that's across the street from us that got plenty of us. We could have all raised together. We could have all experienced it. We could have all minded our business and raised together too. So at the end of the day, Bitcoin is a company line of credit that matches an employer's pay. So you can get your $40K a year and you can move on. So shout out to Bitcoin back in the day, and still vote for Bitcoin. Bring it up in the church. Speak on it and everything. That's Bitcoin, man. I'm the Chaser from Belly 3rd Street, York, PA. It's yours, man.